Hey everyone, welcome back to What's Happening. We want to bring you up to date on what's going on with the Shanquella Robinson case. Attorney Benjamin Crump's office has joined the fight to get justice for Shanquella Robinson and her family. It has been 126 days since this young lady passed away, and on November 16th was when the video surfaced of her being beaten by her so-called, I won't call friend, but an associate or an enemy. That video was released on November 16th, which was 108 days ago. And with all of this evidence, no one has been arrested. Sue Robinson, who is one of the attorneys at Attorney Crump's office, she went to Mexico for a whole week to try to get some answers. And according to her, Mexico has completed their investigation. They have sent all of the information over to Interpol and the FBI, and they are stating that the ball is in the United States court's hands and that the case is a top priority for them. And Attorney Robinson stated that she was never advised this by the State Department. So today, 10:30 a.m. This morning, they held a press conference at the National Council of Negro Women, and they are demanding that there be a high level of diplomatic intervention from the White House and the State Department immediately. We all saw what happened, and they're saying it's now time for our government to take action. So let's take a listen to a little bit of what was said at the press conference this morning.
You can only imagine. And so she's not alone. We're standing with her, and we will never, ever leave her pursuit for justice. That's right. Because Shanquella Robinson life matters.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And so let's give you just a little background of what got us here today. I'm so grateful to Attorney Robinson for going above and beyond for Justice Roland Martin. I mean, my law partner did things that make her heroic, not just as a lawyer, but as a strong black woman who sees the humanity in Shanquella Robinson as possibly somebody who could be her own flesh and blood. That's what humanity requires. So thank you, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson, from the bottom of my heart. Shanquella, as we know, was 25 years old. She was from Charlotte, North Carolina. Her date of death is October 29, 2022. She was reported dead on October 29th. Her mom, Miss Robinson, is here. I told you her sister, Quilla Long, is here. It's important to know that Shanquella Robinson graduated from Winston-Salem State University, a great historically black college and university in North Carolina. She was a hairstylist. She owned a clothing boutique. She worked for an insurance agency. And as Tamika Mallory and I just marveled at how wonderful of a person she was, she also braided little black girls' hair. That was her profession. That's what she did every day, all day. And obviously she was an influencer on social media. It has been 126 days since she died. That's 18 weeks. Video footage of her being beaten literally to death was released on November 16, 2022, 108 days ago. 15 weeks and 3 days, and still, with all this visual evidence, nobody has been arrested.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody has been arrested. And as my son, the gentleman, always talks about, Black lives matter, our black children's lives matter. And people always try to say, well, you all don't show up when black people get killed by other black people. You only show up if a white police officer killing a black person. No, that's not it. oftentimes we can't get the media to cover it. But my sign, Until Freedom, our law firm, we have been showing up when black people get killed unjustly, whether it's a white person who killed them or it's a black person who killed them. Because Shanquella Robinson, life matters. 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 In the video, a woman who was identified by witness as Dajanay Jackson is seen brutally beating Shanquella Robinson while she is stark naked. I argue it's just as bad to Mika Mallard or worse than how they beat Tyree Nichols to death. I mean, you look at those videos, they are both horrific, inhumane. The travel mates who went to Mexico with her, I mean, you talking about adding insult to injury. Sabina, the travel mates returned from Mexico to the United States and told Miss Robinson she died of alcohol poisoning. They failed to mention the fight, or what we saw in that video, Roland Martin, that Shanquella Robinson had a head injury, that she was attacked, that they were joking about it, texting about what happened in the aftermath of the tragedy. But they never mentioned that to Miss Robinson. We are asking for high level of diplomatic intervention from the President of the United States and the State Department to do what is necessary to bring the person or the people who are responsible for the murder of Shanquella Robinson to justice. Let me repeat that again. We are asking for high-level intervention, diplomatic intervention from the President of the United States and the State Department to do whatever is necessary to bring justice to Shanquella Robinson by the person or the persons responsible for her death. It's not a hard act. When you look at that video, it is not a hard act. And when you think about when white women go missing, it's not a hard act. My colleagues will get more into that later. Now, the family retained us, and my law partner, Sue Ann Robinson, as I said, she went above and beyond. The family asked her, and she went on a fact-finding mission to Mexico on their behalf after being advised by us that the Mexican authorities were not doing their job. That's what the U.S. said. The Mexican authorities were not doing their job in regards to investigating this crime. And so, you know, for black people to get justice often in America and certainly abroad, we have to go above and beyond. And Sue Ann Robinson went above and beyond. I mean, this sister, she went down to Mexico for a week. I mean, had threats to her safety. She's a mother of two beautiful little girls, but she saw that she could not justify staying safe and playing it safe while Miss Robinson's daughter had been killed. So Sue Ann Robinson deserves all the credit in the world for going down there and getting the evidence necessary for us to come here today and to say to the department that it is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America, and that is not right, that the suspects and the people involved are sleeping comfortably in their own beds at night, if they are guilty of a crime, then the United States government should do one or two things. One, they should either extradite the person who murdered Shanquella Robinson to Mexico to face the charges and the crimes that have been alleged against her. Or two, they should take jurisdiction. Mexico is willing to give jurisdiction to the United States to bring a case for those responsible for killing Shanquella Robinson to justice. And the only question is, State Department, President Biden, what are you going to do to bring justice for this broken-hearted family, especially this mother of Shanquella Robinson? It's not a hard act. Either extradite the killer or take jurisdiction so you can prosecute the killer. It's simple. And so my co-counsel is going to go into details with you, and then you're going to hear a couple of people, especially my sister Tamika Mallory, who is going to make the case even more plain, because we can't have different justice systems depending on the ethnicity of the victim. We can't have one set of justice for white women and another set of justice for black women. We got to have one justice system for the United States of America. And so that's why Attorney Robinson deserves just so much credit for going to get the evidence that is necessary for us to now make the case for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Now you're going to hear from my partner, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. Y'all give her a big round of applause. Thank you. I'm so proud of work with her.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I want to first and publicly, which I do every day, thank Mrs. Robinson and Quilla for putting their shoulder to the plow to seek justice on behalf of Shanquella Robinson. I'm thanking them for doing something that so often only black and brown families have to do. They have to grieve their loved one. They have to adjust to normalize their life with the loss of their loved one. And at the same time, they have to become part of a movement, part of a club that no one asked to be in. They have to beg for dignity and respect in death. They have to seek justice on behalf of their loved ones. They don't have the privacy to grieve and do those things in private. So I want to thank them publicly for turning their pain into purpose and for giving me the honor of assisting in their case. We've been doing this for a very long time. Black women have been having to come to the front line against oppression because of our intersectionality. We're black and we're females. And so based on that alone, we have a unique set of oppressions we have to deal with and fight against since maybe till. And I stand today on her shoulders, on the shoulders of all the black women who have to grieve publicly in order to push the most important work of our time forward, which is that we would receive equal treatment, that we would also receive equal justice under the laws of the country that we're born in. Shanquella was a beautiful, adventurous entrepreneur. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to know her in life. But getting to know her in death has changed my life. And one should have to suffer the indignities that she did. We deserve to live peaceful lives, enjoy vacations, and die old, peaceful deaths. Being on the ground in Mexico on a fact-finding mission was surreal. I'm an attorney. I went to law school. I know what the laws are. I'm a former prosecutor. I know what the Department of Justice can do if someone flees from justice. So for me, on behalf of this family, to have to physically go and seek justice on their behalf was unreal. In another country, with another language. Going to those places, going to the police station, going to the Attorney General's office, going to the Mexican Red Cross, going to the office of the doctor that attended to her, going to the actual villa and the places where she walked, where she spent her last moments, trying to find answers for this family was absolutely unreal. Nobody should have to do that for something that is equal and fair. They're not asking for anything special. They're not asking for anything unique. They're asking for their government to intervene in a case and take jurisdiction for a crime that we all saw unfold on video.
My Lord.
The most important thing from the case going to Mexico, I learned two things. One, that Kula and Mrs. Robinson are creating their own path to find justice in an international case, because there isn't a path to get information, to find out what's happening on your case, to find out what happened to your loved one. There is no such path. They are creating the path. And number two, most importantly, because they were being ping-ponged between the U.S. authorities and Mexican authorities, they got sick of it. No one was returning their phone calls. Mexican authorities confirmed that they have completed their investigation. We've had the opportunity to review some of the packet, and it has been sent. The ball is clearly in the United States court. The State Department, the Department of Justice, the ball is in your court. Do what you have to do. In Mexico, we went to the U.S. consulate, who is supposed to be the liaison and the protection for American citizens abroad. We got no such warm greeting. We got no such constitutional rights. We got no such assistance, liaison information. In fact, we were almost impeded and advised that if the family needed more information, they should talk to the 6 travel mates that went to Cabo with Shanquella.
Outrageous. It was the accessories to the move. Ridiculous.
Outrageous.
The level of disrespect to Shanquella Robinson's dignity, even in death, is unreal. We had to go ourselves to the Attorney General, explain to them, hey, we're not just trying to show up here. We tried to follow the protocol, but we're not going to leave without any information. And we were assisted by the Mexican authorities, who advised the ball is in your court. We've sent everything over to Interpol. We've sent everything over to the FBI. They advised that the case is a top priority for them. I haven't been advised of that by the State Department here at all. Have you guys been told that? Okay. The issue now is that there has to be a high level of diplomatic intervention. And I say high level to be tongue-in-cheek because, to be honest, the highest level is right here. That's why we're here.
That's right.
President Biden, the head of the Department of Justice, the State Department, you've all got calls from our office.
What's up? And letters.
And
letters.
And no answers. You've got letters. Let's do what's right by Shanquella Robinson, and let's always do what's right by Black women. I work every single day in what I call the most important work of our time, because I would like this job to become obsolete.
That's right.
I would like to have to stop coming before the press and begging for dignity and respect on behalf of my Black clients. Put us out of business, please. President Biden, Department of Justice, State Department, International Affairs, it's on y'all. And we're waiting right here until justice is served for this family. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts about what Attorney Crump and Attorney Robinson had to say? It sounds like the United States, the pressure and the eyes are on them in the State Department. Shanquella's family has waited long enough for an arrest to be made, and it's time. It is past time, and we want to make sure that her case continues to get the attention that it deserves. So once again, I thank you guys for watching and listening, and don't forget to comment below, like the video, and even share it. Let's keep this in the forefront of everyone's eyes, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.